What's up, guys? Dave Lipson here, and today we're going to talk about machines versus weights. It's the battle of the century. It's the gym bros versus the traditionalists who love the iron and the steel, the CrossFitters versus the Gymshark people. Okay, so what? Let's start this conversation from the framework of what are the advantages of free weights? What are the disadvantages? What are the advantages of machines? What are the disadvantages? And how do you decide how to best maybe blend these things together? Okay, let's start with free weights. Free weights are amazing. They probably have the highest utility in terms of overall training effect, and they are superior in a lot of ways. But like a lot of things, anything that's really effective also has equal sides of risks. So free weights are great for being able to load up the body with core compound movements that are going to translate outside the gym. They're great for developing range of motion and stability and balance and athletic utility. So if you play a sport, it really does make sense to have some kind of free weight training in your training plan to have translation outside the gym. It's great for developing the neurological capacity for understanding how to coordinate your body. And it's great for in movements like back squats and deadlifts and compound stuff that's multi-joint, multi-muscle group, really great for recruiting a lot of muscle and creating systemic growth in the body, not really specific to any one body part. The example is in a back squat, you're not just training your legs in a back squat, you're training your core, you're training your lats, you're training your arms, you're training your chest, even your biceps. All that stuff is working when you're doing a back squat. When it comes to machines, the advantage of machines is actually the contrast of that, where we're able to actually pin a muscle down and really train it fully and effectively. They're also great for orthopedic safety because you're able to put yourself into machines that are on a track. They don't require stabilization. You can modify the range of motion to make sure it's no deeper than you can actually comfortably, exert force. And usually there are a lot of safeguards there to keep you from getting pinned down or having a weight fall in a way that you can't control it. So in that regard, I think machines are superior. So like if you're somebody who maybe is like me, right? I have a pretty bad back injury. I've had surgery from it, but the idea of like back squatting heavy or deadlifting heavy, it's probably not a great idea because it's likely to flare up that injury and might lead me to lose weeks or even months of training, which I don't want to have happen. So what I do is on days like leg day, I substitute. I substitute movements like deadlifts for things like leg press machine. I substitute things like back squats or front squats for things like hack squats or even squats on a squat machine or even on a Smith machine because it's stable. And it's not really the loading that challenges me, but it's that stability or being caught in an awkward position or getting out of position that really is where the risk lies. Going too heavy, going too fast, losing position are usually the common players when it comes to injury. That doesn't mean I don't do free weight stuff. I'll do RDLs, I'll do light squats, I'll do voluminous stuff, I'll use the goblet squat a lot, but it's not going to be that heavy stuff. And it's important that as you get older, the most important thing you can focus on is movement selection. It's finding the movements that you can hit really hard and keep yourself safe without having those hiccups or injuries pop up. That might be selecting the right equipment or using machines in some cases, but you do need to be smart about that stuff so you can continue to push hard and not get those big setbacks, which can really be back-breaking, so to speak. Okay, now on the flip side of this, right? If you are somebody who, like, let's say, is competing in a sport that requires mastery of the barbell, absolutely use the barbell, do cleans, do snatches, do all that stuff. That's really more sport specific training, honestly, in my opinion. It's not really as much about building muscle. And I think for most of the people in Muscle Anarchy who are not really trying to compete in CrossFit, but just want to look awesome, build muscle, find progress again, get out of the pain cave with orthopedic injuries, improve their physicality and be able to wear the work on their fitness, but still, be able to do some things. The blend, honestly, is the best combination of being able to say like, hey, on leg day, we throw in some leg extensions, we throw in some hamstring curls. On chest day, maybe we go to the pec deck and we're hitting those machines. We do a lot of substitutions for machines with bands, and bands are great. You can attach them to, pull-up bar and recreate almost any machine. But they really are a substitute for machines. And if you have access to machines, that's only a big advantage. So if you're looking at the program and you're following, say, something like our leg day or our back day or whatever, feel free to substitute the barbell seated strict press with a hammer strength incline strict machine. That's totally fine. Feel free to take those banded hammer curls and turn them into laying hamstring curls on the hamstring curl machine, and just make sure that you're getting exposure to both, because I don't think it's really one or the other, right? If somebody is coming off a surgery and they really can't move or do free weights at all, the machines are a saving grace and it's a great place to start, but it only makes sense to actually progress them onto movements that are still going to have utility outside the gym, because sport life and the demands of those things, they're not going to change. We're going to need to be able to pick up stuff and do yard work and run around and be athletic no matter what we do in the gym. So it only makes sense to practice. Having said that, it doesn't have to only be with a barbell. And what I like to do, if you go to my home gym, is you'll find there's a lot of free weight stuff. And then there's a few machines that I specifically selected myself because I know that they're great substitutions for things I do with the barbell, especially heavy things I do with the barbell that can flare up injuries. And that's just a matter of getting smarter as you get older, understanding what movements are going to best work for you. Hope you enjoyed that little spiel on machines versus free weights. We didn't really answer the question. They're both good, but not one or the other. And if I had to choose one or the other, I'd probably choose the barbell, but I'd be sad because I wouldn't be able to do the heavy stuff. Like, I love going heavy on the hack press machine and on the leg press machine. I mean, that gives me that intensity, and I don't have to feel like, my dick's in the dirt when I tweak my back, because I'm a lot safer on those things. But everyone's a little bit different. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you later.